For the first break episode between the regular weekly programming, I thought I'd sample 2000's Dark Realm, which aired only 13 episodes in syndication before being forgotten forever. Well, mostly forever. The cable channel Chiller aired reruns of the show for a brief time. Aside from the appeal of its short run, I chose Dark Realm because it's hosted by Eric Roberts, who provided both the opening narration and hosts a segment at the start and end of each episode.
Out of the shadows and into our dreams come the fears that haunt mankind. Prepare yourself for a world we call Dark Realm.
The structure of the show is this. Spooky narration by Roberts, a cold open to the episode. Roberts then shows up on set and starts talking to who we think is us, but really he's vaguely addressing the main character of the upcoming story, which is odd and not at all engaging, and then we get whatever tale's being told.
You are a college student, and you just signed up for this class that takes you overseas, but there's a lot going on in the present. You're a long way from home. You're just learning about who you are, your emotions are all mixed up. And on top of all that, what about those really strange things that are happening? You feel like somebody's watching, or something. And who do you open your heart to? Do you really want everybody to know what a basket case you are? Well, maybe you shouldn't have come. Or maybe you can drop out. But no, you can't leave. The nightmare will follow you. The only way to move is forward into the Dark Realm.
The first episode, called Castle Keep, stars no one I recognize and starts out in olden times. Olden spooky times. It features top-notch special effects like this, rivaling late 80s Doctor Who. The story, best I can decipher, is that during those olden spooky times there was a doomed love triangle involving two women and a priest. Centuries later, a college class tours the area and are joined by a hunky substitute teacher. This immediately causes the lady, who was also clearly the lady from olden spooky times, to be smart, much to the chagrin of everyone else in the class. And God, everyone in this class is insufferable.
She was said to have consorted with the devil.
But it wasn't true. Oh, like you were there, right?
Yeah, come on, Andrea. Tell us what happened.
To make matters worse, she fell in love with a priest.
Who seduced her?
Or so she claimed at her trial. But when the church investigated...
A whitewash is more like it.
They found that the priest had been murdered.
Can't you see? It was a cover-up.
Somebody forgot to take her medicine.
The truth is, she didn't kill him.
Anyone else have a theory?
Personally, I vote for the theory that she was a bitch. A witch. Just like Andrea said.
I didn't say that.
Whatever. At least I'm not crazy enough to think the gargoyles did it.
I don't think Andrea does either. She was just explaining the legend.
Leave her alone!
Stories and scientific fact don't mix.
What about the Blair Witch Project? That was real.
Oh, good God.
It was so. I read about it on the internet. They even had the original photographs.
That is so lame. It was all hype. Just because it was on the web doesn't mean it was real. Good point.
Ah, Birdemic. Olden times modern lady starts getting gooey for the new teacher, but she also has a rival in another classmate who goes from 0 to fatal attraction for the substitute in about 4 seconds.
I went by your apartment.
You did what?
Don't be angry. I just really had to see you. I need to know.
Know what?
Are you and Andrea? You know, doing it.
Blah, blah, blah. Guess what? These three are the doomed lovers all reincarnated or something. It's all given away in the opening scene since we can clearly see that the same actress is playing both the olden times lady and the current time lady. Although the current time lady might actually be the ghost of the olden times lady. Whatever, it doesn't matter. This was trash. I should also mention that Dark Realm is filmed on location on the Isle of Man, which is apparently so noisy that almost all the dialogue has to be redubbed. Great choice! Anyway, that was a smoking turd of a television show, so let's press on and take a look at episode 2. Maybe it gets better. I'm not satisfied closing out on that one.
They say that Cain had the mark of evil on his face. Of course, if Cain were alive today, it'd be different. I mean, if he just had the dough. Just a nip here and a tuck there and plastic surgery. You don't like your looks, you change them. Or is it power that you want? You want to be a walking magazine cover? Well, then it's time to call the doc. Oh, one thing. Don't forget to bring your money.
Roberts is getting all cocky with us in his intro, now cosplaying as Robert Stack from Unsolved Mysteries, and still talking more to the main character instead of to us. The second episode is titled She's the One, and features a young woman obsessed with being a model. She goes to some kind of castle beauty farm run by the clearly evil Dr. Zabriskie. Her boyfriend isn't happy about her life choices and comes to find out that the clearly evil Dr. Zabriskie is, well, clearly evil. A conclusion she comes to eventually as well, but can she escape in time before Dr. Z performs his mutilation surgery on her? So yeah, this story is about a whole facility filled with workers who take delight in mutilating women. That's it. There's nothing else to it. Just an entire clinic that gets their jollies by Frankensteining women to death. This is a bad business model. It's unsustainable. While this episode does feature this moderately amusing overzealous security guard.
Hold it right there, buddy.
I just want to talk to my girlfriend. It'll only take a minute.
When I tell you to stop, you stop. Do you understand? What's wrong, Mohammed?
And this one guy who really sells the commercial break. It's clear that this show is probably not going to improve much, if at all, before its cancellation. I'm putting it on the back burner for now. I may eventually come back to it for Eric Roberts' increasing smugness, though. It's something special. But for now, let's get back to 1985. Stay tuned.
The quest for beauty can get pretty ugly in the Dark Realm. You have to ask yourself, is it worth it? And do you really want a mere mortal to shape your appearance? Maybe you should think over the makeover. You might spend the last time you have on the makeover that doesn't take. Or worse, the makeover that takes over.